A little girl was walking in the rain under an orange-red umbrella. Suddenly a pair of big feet blocked her path. The guy took a step forward and the girl backed away in fear. But in the end she was dragged deep into an alley. Fortunately, with her last bit of strength, she dialed for help. Right after that, her father got a call from the police with a critical condition notice. Soon her mother arrived at the hospital entrance, but she still couldn't believe it and silently prayed the police had the wrong family. When her mother pulled back the curtain, she froze on the spot. The girl was covered in blood and bruises, too horrible to look at. Her mother collapsed to the floor, not knowing what to do. Her father looked at her with heartbreak but didn't shed a single tear. Amid her mother's sobbing cries, the girl was wheeled into the operating room. Even halfway through surgery, her mother was blaming herself. If only she had taken her daughter to school that morning, none of this would have happened. As the father, he had to stay strong. Then the doctor called the girl's father in, but seeing his daughter like that, tears filled his eyes. Her lower body was severely damaged and they needed to remove her colon and anus. Facing life or death, the father could only agree to the plan. The bruises on the girl were obvious, and bloodstained bandages piled up like a small mountain. No one knew what the girl had gone through. Her mother asked about the surgery, but the father simply pulled his wife into his arms. Although their daughter survived, the mother still cried hot tears, looking through the window at her daughter's terrible state. The pain and guilt overwhelmed her. After the mother left, the father quietly entered the hospital room. He held his daughter's hand and she woke up feeling it. But the girl was still worried about her father's job. Just like how she called the police directly after the incident. She was afraid her father was busy working, so she hadn't called him. Hearing how sensible his daughter was, the father was stunned for a moment. But in front of her, he forced a smile. Then the girl, in a faint voice, described the bad guy's features and told her father to catch him. Only after the father promised did the girl agree to sleep. He couldn't understand why such a sensible daughter had to suffer this fate. When he heard the police had found a suspect, the father rushed to the station. But because of insufficient evidence, the police couldn't make an arrest yet. A young officer spouted regulations to brush off the father. An older officer thought of a way, but it required the girl's identification. That would undoubtedly drag the child back into the abyss. Although the mother strongly objected, she couldn't sway the father. After all, he had promised his daughter he'd catch that bad guy. A psychologist called to the girl, but she kept her eyes shut. Moving her head up and down was her only way to communicate. Luckily, the psychologist was experienced, and a song brought the girl back. Once they confirmed she was conscious, the identification of the attacker began smoothly. Then the girl kept looking out the window, her eyes full of pleading. Only after the father nodded did she start answering questions. Photos were shown one by one, until the girl shut her eyes tight and the hellish pain struck again. To confirm details, they forced the girl to describe the bad guy's appearance. Under unimaginable torment, the girl was made to identify him a second time. The suspect's photo was laid flat, and the girl's bloodstained finger pointed at it. But no one could feel the pain she endured. With the girl's ID, the police arrested the man right away. Hearing the culprit was caught, the father rushed into the station. He broke through the reporter's blockade but ignored the deadly microphone. By the time he realized, reporters swarmed around him. If not for the police